Alrighty, good morning. Uh,
Morning.
is your name Alexander?
Yes.
And it says here you prefer to go by Alex. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Well, hi, I'm Nick. I'm going to be your social worker today. Um, the
Mhm.
goal of today's meeting is just to kind of get a general understanding of why you came in today and um and maybe some steps that we can take to help you feel more comfortable. So on the form that you filled out, uh, it says that you struggle with social anxiety and shyness. Um,
Mhm.
do you maybe want to talk a little bit about what that means to you?
It's just I feel a lot of pressure to talk to others, and it's just I don't want to being judged by people who I didn't know, and I don't know um how to react with their judgments. Um And yeah, so I'm just I've been trying to avoid those interactions because I don't like to talk to people.
I see. I see, yeah. Can I ask, was it your idea to come in and talk to me today, or was it someone else's, like a parent or a teacher or that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm not actually like uh, a fan of this kind of thing. Like just I don't talk too much, and my teacher and my parents just think this will be a a little chance for me to open up a little bit. So they just sent me here, and I I'm really not sure what I can say and what kind of help I can get from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Okay, well, thank you for giving me a little bit of an understanding as to why we're here today. And we're definitely going to take some time to talk about the social anxiety and the feelings that come up um and whatnot. I do want to take some time just to go over a background of who you are and kind of your past experiences. We're going to fill out something called a biopsychosocial model, which is just a worksheet that you and I are going to work on together to just give like a basic understanding of of your past experiences and kind of who you are, if that makes sense. I'm
Okay.
happy to answer any questions that you have about uh what we go through. Just feel free to stop me at any time. Um,
Okay.
and I want to give you a chance to speak as well.
Okay.
Um, so usually we kind of bounce around, but the beginning of the worksheet works on kind of a biological perspective. So um we're right now we're thinking about whether any blood relatives, so your parents or grandparents, do you know if they've suffered from any psychiatric conditions, perhaps substance abuse problems? It's okay if you
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Um, are you aware of any uh any complications involving your birth?
Mm, what do you mean by?
Yeah, so your mom
Mhm.
gave birth to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you aware of any complications with that? Like, do you know if she had a C-section or if she um was using substances, perhaps?
Not really. I don't think they use any drugs or um and yeah, they've been pretty supportive to me. Um,
Okay,
but yeah,
great. Um, are you aware of any illnesses that you might have? Um,
no, not really.
medical conditions? Okay. Do you take any medications?
No,
Do you use any substances such as nicotine or alcohol?
no.
Okay, great. Um, okay, now we're gonna move into the psychological, the P of the BPS.
Mhm.
Um, can you tell me a little bit about your, how can I phrase this? Um, when you were younger, uh, are you aware of any traumatic experiences that you've had that might be worth exploring? um, Such as the death of a family member or a chronic illness, or abuse or neglect.
Mm, it's just I think mm, when I talk in a class or in a group of people, yeah, sometimes my idea or my answer is wrong, and like people will laugh at me. And it's just I'm getting a lot of pressure from those laughters, and it's like very hard for me to express those emotions, but I just feel a little worried about like being judged by others. Um, not not like traumatic experiences, but it's just um like when those laughters like appear over and over again, it's really like adding up my pressure, and I just want to like stay silent, and I don't want to express anything I thought, or I don't want to give an answer to the people, they so that they cannot laugh at me. And yeah.
So you're kind of thinking that if um, you're silent, then you're not giving anybody to laugh at or think is funny. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Do you are you aware of when that may have started for you? Do you feel like it's kind of always been that way, or do you feel like there was a particular time where you started uh thinking about the judgment of others, perhaps?
Mm, I think it started from when I went school, getting to school to those strangers, and and then I noticed, yeah, people often laugh at me outside the school, and it's just like getting me more anxious about s- speaking out loud.
Um, yeah, I see. So it kind of started when you started middle school, or because you're in middle
Um,
school now. Am I correct about that?
yeah. I think from primary school, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so quite some time. Well, and it must have been
Hmm.
hard to get through that time.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Okay. Um so we have a little bit of an understanding of you said primary school, yes? Is kind of
Hmm.
when things started feeling this way. So
Hmm.
we have kind of an understanding of when. Um How, what does a positive role model look like to you? Can you think of people in your life that are a positive role model?
I have I mean, I have I have my parents, and I have a younger sister. She's very outgoing, and also, I mean, my parents are supporting me, but um, my father is mm, much be busier than my mother, and sometimes my mother like outside of school, my mother wanted to like bring me to some social events with her friends or with her coworkers, and it's just like letting me talk to those people. It's just feels kind of like little pushy on that kind of situation. And my sister is really outgoing. I hope I can be like that, but I think I might not be able to do that. And I also got a online friend, um, basically from our forum, join our forum, and we talk a lot. But uh, yeah, that's it.
I see. Okay. So you have a few people. You have this online friend, you have your sister and your mom. It sounds like your mom and your sister are pretty outgoing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that you go to, I think it was work parties, right, with your mom.
Mm,
Um, and you kind of feel this way at those parties too.
yeah.
I see. Okay. Um, just returning to the document here. Um, have you tried to solve the have you tried to relieve the feelings that you have right now by yourself? Let me rephrase that question. What are some things that you have done so far to help you with this anxiety that you're feeling? Have you tried anything?
I like drawing,
Said
um,
bowling?
drawing, like
Draw.
painting,
Yeah.
drawing,
Okay.
and like listening to some music, reading some books related to some arts, and Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. So I see. So you spend a lot of time doing activities kind of by yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Um, um, how often do you get together with people? So you mentioned you talked a little bit about your mom and your sister and this online friend. Um,
Hmm.
are there other times that you find yourself in social situations other than school, maybe?
Mm, I mean, um, sometimes just drawing on like and posting some paintings I did online and share some information on on the art forum. Uh, I have a Discord to do that. Uh, Play some video games with online friends. Um, I think it's more comfortable to do that because people actually don't know who I am and what I look like, and I, s- I, I think I only share uh, one some personal information to one online friend. Um, so it makes me more comfortable to do online conversation, but uh, I I mean I wanted to do those conversation in person, but it's just really hard for me to try.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, it sounds like drawing and painting too have they play a big role in your life. You know, it
Yeah,
kind of sounds like that's a an outlet for you.
yeah.
That's fun. That's what kind of things do you like to draw?
Um, Avatar, like creating some narrative stories, for for my for my game avatar, for my game character. I want like I don't know, like powerful superhero, I guess.
Okay, I see. Um, thank you for sharing that with me. We're gonna just spend a couple minutes and shift gears to talk about just some logistical things. Uh,
Hmm.
this might not be a question that you can answer, but how is your uh tell me about your financial circumstances at home. Do you feel like your family has enough money? Do you uh kind of struggle to put food on the table, that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean, my father did really like a busy job. Like he comes home late, and but my mother always like making sure we have uh like my sister and I have something to eat, and it's I don't think it's a problem.
Okay. And you said your dad comes home late, and your mom is home in the evenings.
Yeah.
Do you cook for yourself or do your parents cook for you?
My mother cooked for
Okay.
us, for my sister and I.
Mm-hmm. And you have access to medical care and all of that,
Mhm.
insurance and whatnot. Okay. How do you get to school?
Um, basically, basically, when my father is not busy, too busy, my father will give me a ride. Uh, he will give my sister and I a ride because my sister and I, basically, our schools are close. And other than if my father is too busy, we will just take a bus.
I see. Okay. And how long is the bus ride? About?
Um, around 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, thank you for sharing all of that. Um, so we're gonna wrap things up pretty soon here. Um,
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that there isn't another question that I can ask. Um, and your parents are currently married?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we have enough to work with here. Um,
Mhm.
let's assume that we'll have another meeting, even though we won't. And we can work on a little bit about what feelings come up when you feel this social anxiety and maybe notice them a little bit and work with them um, over time. So next week we'll talk about we'll kind of spend a lot more time working on the social anxiety aspect of things.
Okay.
Great. And scene.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, go for
Okay.
the feedback. I have some feedback for myself, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Basically, I think do we uh do we want to include the confidentiality before we actually go in, or do
Oh,
we?
absolutely. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, yeah. That's like one thing I think I wanna mention, and um also I think for the because I prepare some notes if like you're asking this kind of aspect of like stories. So um I think you might want to dig deeper on s- on a school environment, maybe.
Mm,
It's just like like um because because the client is like sharing their thoughts in the class and being laughed at and but from my idea is that the client is good at academically, but they just share some thought that people like the classmate could not understand. And so especially um like the client is doing right, but it's like I don't know, like the client should feel invisible at school. It's just like he is good at academic, but he's only afraid of speaking up. So like dig deeper on like the root of the this kind of thing. Um and yeah, I think it the questioning technique is pretty good. Um
you have a
uh,
lot of good points, though, that I could have, instead of following this script, could have dug a little deeper. See, this
mhm.
is, I knew that this would happen because talked about this from the get-go is that I'm really good at working with a kid that talks a lot and would just
Yeah.
information already, but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to speak not too much and trying to let you dig deeper, and it seems like from after I answer the question you just stop that. Like I do prepare something like to say after, like I would just wanna like let you ask that.
I see.
But yeah, that's like the main stuff, main feeling I like for the whole process.
Mm.
Uh, and I think, yeah, the you're establishing a really like a trustworthy and um close relationship. But I think like instead of I don't know, like instead of asking more about the client's environment or the situations they face, like because they are not trusting strangers, including the therapist. So uh, what I expect will be um like when you do confidentiality, so like it's a safe place to share anything, and like making sure you will not judge the clients about any of their thoughts and opinions, and uh yeah, I
Yeah,
think I think that's it. Other than those, you've done a pretty good job, I guess.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Um, okay, well let's move on to the next one and we'll just keep it recording and I'll splice it up and and
Hmm.
send it
Yeah.
out
Yeah, we
something.
can do that.
Yeah. What's up, Richard?
What's up, Nick? What's up, Bruce?
Hi, hi, Daniel. Thanks for being here. I know your parents sent you here, and it's kind of a struggle for you to like being sent here. And how's it going?
It's okay, yeah, my parents are kind of forcing me to come to this, and I don't really know what
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna help with. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so just before we begin, I just wanted to explain how what we're gonna do for this session. So it's gonna be like a comprehensive assessment here. We do a PPSS, so it's called psychosocial asse psychosocial spiritual assessment, and this will help us understand what kind of support you need, and how we gonna work together to meet your goals, or I don't know, or your parents' goals. But basically here, we I serve a therapist for you. So basically, what your need is my goals. So we don't need to worry about anything from your parents. Uh, and our conversation is definitely confidential. So meaning what we discuss just stays here and it's between us. So however, like, but if there's anything mention of harm to yourself or others or any situation involving um abuse, and am I legally required to report this uh to my supervisor or to other to report that. I mean, like if you ever have concerns about confidentiality, like just feel free to ask.
okay,
Yeah,
so whatever I say, you won't tell my parents the stuff I say.
yeah. Other
Okay,
than those harmless.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
And so during the session, you might feel like some of these questions might feel too personal. So just please let me know. Um, what you're thinking, and like please just know you are the only need to share what you feel comfortable with, and if anything feels too overwhelming, just let me know, and we can just pause a little bit for a while and skip to another topic. Is that sounds great?
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Okay. So do you feel okay moving forward from now?
Yeah.
Sure. So from the intake we have, so it says your parents refer you to be here. So do you know actually like what concerns have your parents expressed for about about you or any I think they are seeing you as struggling in school and disengaged in class at home. Um, do they express anything about your school and home engagement?
Yeah, my parents got mad at me because like, I haven't been getting good grades lately. And then they say like I'm not trying my best in school. And like, I I know I'm not trying, but like it's just like I'm like a junior, right? So like it's like, I just need to get through high school and then I can do whatever pretty much. It's not hard stuff. It's just like I don't know. Like I just don't really care about doing well.
Mm,
Um, yeah. So I think they just want me to come here to see because like they get mad at me and then they don't know like it doesn't do anything. So they're just like whatever, we'll make you talk to somebody else
okay.
about it. Yeah.
So you're I'm hearing that you're not talking a lot to your parents and but do you feel supportive when like from your parents when you like how do you feel about their concerns and like do you agree or seeing things differently than your pa other than your parents?
Yeah, like my like I'm Chinese and I don't know if you're Chinese or not, but like they're like typical Chinese parents like I don't really know if support is like I know they want me to do well, right? And like they have
Mm,
like expectations and like they just want me to like, get a good job and like, do all the stuff that,
mhm,
normal Chinese parents want. And like
mhm,
they always compare me to like my classmates who are also Chinese because like we are friends with like their parents and like it
mhm,
just feels like a big competition. It doesn't feel like they want me to like I don't really want to talk to them about stuff because like they're just gonna tell me like what I need to be doing, you know. So I guess like no, I don't really feel like I can lean on them for support. But they do like, provide food and drive me to school and stuff like that.
mhm,
So if that's like support, like, they do that.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that they are putting like seems they're putting too much pressure on you.
Mhm.
Just making comparisons like with other students and their friends, children. Um, so like what areas of school or home life like feel the most difficult for you right now? Like is about academic or is it about communication with your parents? Like what is the most difficult areas for you
Yeah.
now?
I think I'm just like tired all the time. And like,
Hmm.
I like sleep in class and like, because
Hmm.
it's just like really boring. And like the homework's not hard and it's just like I already know like a lot of this stuff. So it's like it doesn't really matter if I pay attention, I feel like. And then my teachers tell my parents that, and then they're like, "Oh, you're not trying." But like, you know, I I do good on tests and stuff. It's just like I don't really want to do the homework,
Hmm.
you know. Um, and at home it's like I get home like sometimes before my parents do because like my friends will drop me off, and then I can like I like playing games with them. And then as soon as my parents come home, they're like, "Did you do your homework?" And I'm just like, I have to like pretend like I was doing homework when they get home,
Hmm.
just so they won't get like mad. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, have you ever like expressed to your parents or to your teacher that like like um how do I like the assignments are like really easy for me, and because I already passed through um the test. Um, like
Mm.
I'm just wondering, like, because you you are having your parents told you just complaining about the low grade you have. So I'm wondering like how your grade distribute like the distribution looks like.
I get like most like I get A's on the tests and stuff. My report card is like A minuses and B's, and I think I have like one C in like physics right now. But
Mm,
like, that's like a hard class for me.
mm,
Um, but because there's just like not a lot of there's not a lot of tests. Like it's just like all homework. So
mm,
I don't really have a chance to like get the grade up.
mm,
But like it's like A's and B's, and then like I think when it's like unless it's like 100%, my parents
mm,
are like, "What's going on?" Right? Like, why are
mm,
you not like paying
mm,
attention, whatever? And I'm like, I'm doing better than like most other kids in my class. It's just
mm,
like not the standard that they want, And so in their mind, they're like, "Oh, my kid's struggling, whatever."
mm.
So that's like
Oh,
annoying. It's like, it's like why can't they just be happy with like what
mm,
other parents are happy with, right? Like my friend,
mm,
I have like some white friends who are like, oh yeah, my parents like are really happy we're going out to dinner because I got like an A minus on my math exam, right? And I'm like,
mm,
I get an A minus, and then they like, yell at me or whatever, right? Like that's just like kind of stupid, I think, in my opinion.
sure. Yeah. It seems like they're having like too much expectation than you want to you, mm, and it's really I feel like it's really frustrating to have those expectations that you don't want it.
Mm.
Um yeah, so let's move on to other thoughts. Do you have any other thoughts on like or emotions do you struggle that was um within the school, like other than academically, what about the interactions with your classmates and your friends in school?
Yeah, I like I said like I feel like I'm just really tired all the time at school, and I don't know if it's like I
Mm,
stay up late like playing video games sometimes, and like
mm,
but it's like my friends do that too, right? And then so
mm,
it's just like tired because like I don't care, you know. Um,
mm,
but other than that, like I don't know, school's school. I have I have some friends who like I play games with. But no, it's kind of like whatever.
mm,
Yeah.
okay. Um, do you feel like the staying up too late for playing games actually is the main reason for you are being too tired in class, or is there any other reasons other than because you're saying your friends always is also doing the same thing? Is there any other reason that you're feeling like sleeping uh in school?
Uh, I mean, it's not like even if I like go to bed normal time, like at 10 o'clock, right? Like I usually, if I stay up late, it'll be like 12. It won't be like that crazy.
Mm,
Um, Even if I go to bed at like 10, it's like I'm still kind of this feel the same, you know.
mm, okay.
Um, and like when I get home, if my friends aren't playing games, like I'll just like take a nap or something until my parents get home, and then I'll do homework.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so mm, just making sure I'm understanding right. It seems like your tiredness is more likely came from the unmotivation of the school, like being like those content is just seems boring to you. Is more kind of the reason that you might feel tired in school.
Like I don't care. Like that's why I'm tired. You saying? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean maybe. Right. It's
Okay.
just it doesn't seem interesting or it feels like I like it's just like I have to do it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Instead of like mentally or emotionally, is there any like physical symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or any other symptoms when you feel stressed in school or
I think yeah, like I get stressed like I mean it's not so much even stress. I used to get stressed when I get like a B, right? Or like a C because I
mm,
know like my parents are gonna get mad. But
mm,
now it's like, it happens so much. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna get into like an argument and then they're gonna like say this and that and it's just like, then they're kind of I think they're kind of like don't know what to do with me, so that's why they told me to come here.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, so we're gonna dig a little deeper on the history of those kind of emotions. So when would be the first time you start feeling like whatever, I don't want like like the grade is gonna like cause my parents just arguing with me, but I don't care.
Yeah. I think it was like probably like in middle school like they've been getting mad at me like my whole life I feel like like even when I was like in elementary school I remember isn't whatever if I didn't like get a good grade and like
Oh.
or it's like they didn't even give grades in elementary school. They give like smiley faces or whatever, right? And it's like if they
Mm,
saw anything on my report card or it's like, oh, Richard's not doing this or that, they get mad. And
mm,
then I think like I used to get really sad about it. And then
mm,
last year, I don't know. I was just like, I'm getting like I'm older now. Like my friends are like starting to drive and like
mm,
it's just like, it's just like I'm like kind of tired. Like I don't really care anymore.
mm.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. So is there any like significant event that like affect your motivation? Like, is there a big traumatic event for you to like, oh, I like change your motivation suddenly?
I mean, my parents will get like really mad, like they'll like scream and like hit stuff and like they've like hit me a couple
Mm,
times like slapping, right? But like not, I would not like I don't think from me talking to my friends it's kind of like that happens like with parents like they don't like beat me all the time and then like they usually like apologize after too so it's not like a regular thing
mm,
but like they'll like throw stuff and like it's just like I don't know I feel like that's kind of normal in Chinese families sometimes.
okay.
Um, but there's no like big thing that was like, you know, it was just kind of like it's just like kind of like so happens so often. It's like regular. It's like how we communicate, I think, at this point. Because like they
Okay.
don't their English is like okay. Like they can understand me.
Mm,
But like I speak English to them and then they speak Chinese or like I'll speak like Chinglish, like a mix, you know.
mm,
Oh.
okay. Um, so I might want to dig a little deeper on the relationship with your parents.
Okay.
So like who's the person in your family you feel most connected to, and like what would be the reason for that?
I mean, what do you mean by like connected to?
Like who is the emotional supporter for you?
I mean, I think my mom gets like I talk to my mom more about stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cause like she'll care sometimes if I'm like, sad, she'll be like, "Oh, what's wrong?"
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't really talk to my dad about that stuff. Like he's like always just working.
Okay.
Um and he's kind of like, "Oh, just like talk to your mom
Mm-hmm.
about it." So maybe my mom, but like, she's also the one who like gets the most upset about, my school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, is there any recent changes in your family that may affect your emotion?
No, not really. No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay. And um, So other than like hitting you, slapping you, how do your parents typically respond when you like struggle with your school and like those challenges?
They'll like, be like, oh, we'll take away your computer or like take away your phone.
Mm,
Um, and then they'll be like, yeah, like, they say like why can't you be like, whatever, like one of my friends.
mm,
He does this, he like, plays piano, whatever.
mm,
And but it's like, I play games with him and I know he doesn't care. Like he's not like perfect either. And they only see like
mm,
what his parents tell him.
mm,
Well, what his parents tell me, my parents.
mm,
So it's like, I know he's not like that's when I kind of like was like not caring because I'm like, oh, they don't even know like what they're talking about. They just want to make me feel bad or whatever, make me feel
absolutely.
guilty.
Sure.
Um, but it's like, I'm whatever.
Mm. So if I let you like change something about how your family communicate and support you, like what would be what would be look like?
If I wanted them to change,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know, just I like playing video games, and like my parents
Mm,
like don't like that. But it's like, people get jobs in that stuff, and like,
mm,
if I want to go to college, like maybe I'll do like game design or something, So
mm,
like that's interesting to me, and like that's something I like a lot. But like they see it like a distraction. Like I'm spending too much time like doing that stuff and not the important stuff.
mm,
But like, I don't think that'll ever happen. Like, it's just like a thing. It's just like they don't ever get it.
mm,
Um, and like I don't know, like they just like don't my family doesn't like it's just me and my parents. I don't have like a sibling or something. So
mm.
they don't really I don't really have anybody else to talk to about that stuff I like besides my friends. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I think um do you feel like your cultural background will influence like how you're experiencing school and like is it the main reason that you're feeling struggling uh in in the family or like
Yeah.
feeling pressure?
Yeah, like I said, like I think some of my white friends don't have to deal with the same thing, and
Mm,
like they do okay. And it's like my parents make me feel like I'm gonna like not go to college when like, I feel like I'm smarter than some of my friends who their parents are like support like nice to them about their stuff.
mm,
So I don't really like, get it. Like, they just have very high like expectations and they want to be like it's just like they want to like compare like to other families all the time.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um so So other than playing games, I know you have sharing that. Like what kind of activities do you enjoy the most when you are in your leisure time?
Mm, I did swimming for a little bit, like
Mm,
when I was a kid, and then I kind of stopped this year because of high school.
mm,
It just like I got too much. I didn't really care about it anymore.
mm.
But I like doing that back then, and now it's just kind of games or like sleeping or like homework or like SAT stuff.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
Mhm. Um, is there any other new interest or skills you wanna explore or not?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Uh, I just wanted to gather some information on the biological aspect.
Okay.
Um, do you feel that your physical health affect your mood in school or in your family?
Yeah. I mean, I'm tired. I eat like okay. I think like just normal like Chinese food my mom makes, and then like school lunch. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's like pretty normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had, experienced any changes in your like overall well-being?
Besides just the tired all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, have you any ever used substances like alcohol, caffeine, nicotine,
Just caffeine.
caffeine? Like how often will you have those?
Just like like an energy drink, like at night. Sometimes, like when I'm playing video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, um, s- so before you came here, have you ever did any therapy or counseling before?
No, no.
Okay. Um, and um, let me see. Yeah, I think it's that's all we wanna know about you and like explore the way to support you in the first intake session.
Okay.
Um I hope like we can schedule another meeting in next maybe in coming weeks so that we can actually have some methods to support you in therapy. I know we have a different kind of activities also in gaming therapy which might attract you. We just playing games and um like using games to do a therapeutic session. And yeah, it's very nice to talk to you and it's very um uh, a very large step to for you to getting into this kind of session. And yeah,
Okay.
uh, I hope you have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Cool. All right. Sorry, I was trying to be. I'm usually very talkative, so I like was trying to not talk too much.
Mm, yeah.
All right.
Do you have any feedback for me?
Um, yeah, I think it was good. Like I think you can just like start with like immediately just asking, how like, if on the intake I think it says like, my parents referred me.
Mm,
You can just start with like asking questions instead of like I don't think explaining the BPSS would be like necessary,
okay.
you know, because just like it make it more natural. But that was
Okay.
pretty much it. I think the rest of it was pretty good. Like I think you were flowing through the four different things pretty
Mm,
naturally.
mm,
And at the end, recap with like some logistical, like biological questions.
mm,
Um, yeah. I think we
mm.
we do have another session with the same character, right? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I think we do
What
this
do you mean?
again, and then there's like we add like another thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Um,
Okay.
but how do you feel?
Um, I feels like there's might be some stagnation. I like like sometimes I just don't know like what to ask or like
Hmm.
how am I gonna dig deeper about like clients are like being playing games too much and um I mean I don't know how to deal with that like because we don't give suggestions to the clients.
Yeah.
So that's why I just mentioned like what I can provide you is about a gaming therapy, which you would might um gives you more like gives us more chance to know about you and know about each other and build a safe environment.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just don't know if because it's I think from this session, it's all about there's too much expectation from the parents, and
Mhm.
I'm not supposed to share all those information to the parents, and so I cannot communicate with your parents.
Yeah.
Um, and and I think that is the root of the cause. Um, I cannot like let you to educate your parents about game
Right.
industry, and that's what I'm struggling with. Like, how should I do some intervention?
I think like if was work like I think if I said like I really like games and I want to go think about going into game design,
Mm.
you can use your own strengths of like knowing video games to be like, oh, like, tell me more about like your games, what games
Ah,
you play.
yeah, yeah,
And then
absolutely.
I think that building rapport with the person would be like, oh, this is like my therapist is someone I can talk to about video games with, right? And
Hmm.
then they'll be like, my parents don't care about it, but like at least like I know I'm not crazy. It's like somebody does care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's really a good
yeah.
lesson.
I think for like you could always just ask like, oh, tell me more about that, Can you like and then just keep
Yeah,
it simple. Um,
yeah,
yeah. I
absolutely.
think yeah. But I think yeah, you did a good job. Like I think this is the first session. It's like half an hour, right? So it's like you can only get
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
much in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Ay,
Nick,
thank you.
yeah. Are you all done then, Bruce?
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. Cool.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. I will see you guys next week and good
Yeah,
luck
sounds
on your
good.
session.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take it
Thanks.
easy.
guys.
See you.
Bye. All right. Hey, Sam. I'll just introduce myself real quick. My name's Richard. I, work with the University of Michigan as a social worker. Thanks for coming here today.
Yeah,
How's it
sure.
going for you?
Glad to be here. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, not really, but
Gotcha.
it
Um,
is what it is.
yeah, I saw on your intake form that it was your dad that referenced you.
Yeah, so this is all just really ridiculous. But okay, so I lost my job and like people lose their job, right? Like that happens.
Hmm.
People get fired, people get laid off, okay? And then my dad was all up on my ass and he was like, "Hey, something happened here and you've got to go fix it." And I was like, "Nothing happened." And he was like, "Yeah, you were like whatever drunk at work." And I was like, "No, I wasn't. I was hungover at work." There's a big difference there. And it's
Yeah.
just we had a big argument and I ended up being here and he said he'd kick me out unless I show up and like I kind of need to live at my house. So I
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Dang. That's a hell of a scenario. Before we get into that stuff too deeply, I'll just kind of explain like what we can do for you today and what this is going to be all about. Have you ever been to like a like therapy or counseling or
nope,
anything
not
before?
even once.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll try to make this first experience, something that's like more palatable for you. I know it's like I appreciate you being here, even though, not ideal circumstances, of course.
Okay.
So like I said, I'm a social worker working at the University of Michigan. I want you to know that everything you say to me is going to be between us two. So I'm not going to tell your dad about anything you say. You can, this is a safe place for you to kind of share whatever you feel. With a couple exceptions though, if you express to me that, you are intending to hurt yourself or other people, or you let me know that there's like ongoing abuse of like, elders or children, then I'll have to maybe inform my supervisor or somebody else, like the proper authorities. But other than that, everything you share between you and me is confidential. And if you want to see anything I write down during our session, that's totally open as well. All right.
Great. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So today's going to be kind of just getting to know you. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. So let's just keep going with where you were at. You lost your job and your dad said that you were drunk at work.
Yeah, my dad just does not understand anything about me. All right.
Hmm.
Um, I do drink. I drink probably more than the average person.
Okay.
And I never show up to work drunk,
Hmm.
I don't think. Not that I remember. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I show up to work with a freaking headache because, I mean, you ever drink, you wake up with a headache afterwards.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't know. I guess just my boss had it. I mean, I'm not that good at that job, but like, I'll find another job.
Yeah.
Not
What
like
did
I'm
you,
sitting
what
on
was
this.
your job? Sorry to interrupt.
As a barista, I made
What
coffee. I made a mean good latte. It's just sometimes it smelled like alcohol because I'm the one who made it.
Oh, it's like you're not putting alcohol in it,
No,
obviously.
no, 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 no. I'm just, I guess I just reek of alcohol.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like kind of making the latte smell like alcohol, or maybe the customer just smells me. When you're at a coffee shop, the whole point is to make the customer feel comfortable. And like, I believe in that. I like making customers happy. And I guess I just got like one too many complaints from my smell and
Oh,
much I
okay.
can do about that. So,
Yeah.
make a good latte, but I can't make myself smell bad. There's no shower at the coffee shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I mean, like, so you said you drink more than the average person, you'd say?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what would that mean? Like, how many times a week? How many drinks per session, stuff like that?
Um, okay, look, I go out to a bar like
Hmm.
almost every day. I have a lot of friends. I'm kind of popular in the neighborhood. I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends. We go out most nights,
Okay.
especially on the weekends. I have okay, look, I have like two, maybe three, maybe it at least three drinks a night, I would say. Something like
Okay.
that.
Are they like what kind of drinks are they?
Um, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I I'm kind of swift with it. I usually take just shots
Okay.
or I'll get like some kind of hard liquor and sip it.
Okay.
One of the
Gotcha.
two. I don't mess around with like cocktails or anything. I just go straight to it.
Yeah,
Not
gotcha. Don't mess
not
around.
messing around. It's
All right.
cheaper too.
Yeah. And you said, you go out with friends usually?
Yeah, all the
Okay.
time. I
Cool.
got my buddy Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hang out a lot.
You enjoy he's like your best friend or
Um, yeah, he's up there. I'm
okay.
gonna do something really funny and just make sure that I got his name right. You keep talking though.
All right, yeah. I'll also just ask, like, are you, you said you're 24 on your intake form. Are you still in school right now, or are you out?
I'm out of school.
Okay,
I no, I am not. Okay. I gave college a try, and
okay,
I was like, screw this, I'm done.
yeah. How far into college did you get?
About a year and a half.
Okay,
Yeah, that second year, I was like, what am I doing? First of all, it's expensive. Second of all, I'm
yeah.
not like learning anything. I drank a lot in college too.
Hmm.
Years I was in college.
Gotcha. When did you have like your first drink?
Um, you're asking me a lot of questions I should know the answer to. Pretty young.
Okay.
Pretty young. I started drinking in high school, like
Mhm.
early high school. Um, I mean, it definitely was not constant back then, but you had to experiment, like everyone was
Yeah, I
experimenting,
get
so
you.
you do too. I don't know.
Gotcha. And then at home, so I started in high school. Just give me a second. So you mentioned your dad is kind of the guy who, threatened to kick you out. Do you have is your mom still out?
Yeah,
Did you let
she
your mom
lives at
know?
home.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, no, she lives with me.
Okay.
Uh,
And how
so-
how was she a part of that conversation at all with your dad after your job stuff?
um, she kind of like backed him up.
Okay.
My dad definitely. uh my dad has a lot to say, and my mom just kind of follows what he has to say. Um, and that's just kind of how that goes. And yeah, I mean, I get into a lot of arguments with both my parents. Uh,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I mean, what can you, I feel like everybody gets into arguments with their parents, so
Mhm. Yeah. What are your parents like usually? Like, what do your parents do for work? Or like,
um my dad is what the heck does my dad do? He's like some kind of engineer, but for like water. He's like a water engineer.
okay.
And so I guess what it is he just kind of like looks at a city and goes, okay, how are we going to get water to all these buildings and houses?
Okay.
He does a lot of physics. He's big into physics. I'm not really into any of that stuff, but sometimes he gets kind of nerdy about it and talks about it during dinner or whatever.
Yeah. What are
Uh,
you into
what am I into? God, I don't know. I mean,
outside of like,
look,
going
I
out and
majored. Yeah, I mean, I like drugs, but I also like so in college I almost majored in math. I'm a pretty big math guy.
okay.
Um, I probably got that from my dad, the physics thing. Um, I mean, yeah, it's not like I just sit around doing math problems all day, but if I had to get into a profession, I could see myself being a math professor. Like I just like how it all works out.
Yeah. Kind of like that logical
Yeah.
way of
Yeah,
thinking.
right? Like
Yeah.
no questions. You just have the answer, you don't have the answer. Like that's pretty
Gotcha.
cool.
Yeah.
And I'm better
Um,
at math when I'm high. I've learned that. And so I kind of take advantage of that.
like what kind of drugs are you using? Like just weed or other things?
Oh, yeah, no, when I'm doing like homework, which doesn't happen anymore, yeah, I just get high from weed.
Okay.
Um
Is that something you're doing like pretty often or with like, alcohol?
these days, yeah, these days I smoke a little weed to go to bed
Okay.
um after I go out, because sometimes I'm like riled up from the club or whatever, and I'm like I
Gotcha.
just wanna calm down and go to bed, so I just kind of smoke a joint.
hmm Gotcha. Going back to kind of like the incident that brought you here, you say you go out pretty often. What's your sleep like? Were that day were you like out pretty late and that's why you're still smelling like that at work or
Yeah, I mean, I was out a little. I was probably like, okay, I had the 9 a.m. shift, which isn't too early because we also like open at 6 or whatever.
yeah.
Um, and then I was out till like midnight, so it wasn't too like
hmm
theoretically I could have gotten it. Like if you're sitting down and doing the math, I could have gotten enough sleep. I guess I just had a lot to drink that night, which is true. I don't actually remember going to bed the night before
Mm.
working. That is accurate. So I probably did have a lot to drink that night.
Okay.
Do
Gotcha.
I regret it? No.
Had a good time? Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, I would
Oh,
say
besides
so.
obviously,
I would say so. I saw a couple pictures. I was like, oh, yep.
good time. Don't regret it.
I
All
will
right.
not be showing those pictures.
No, no problem. Yeah, if you want to, But okay,
Nope,
so
don't want to.
all right, that's fine. Yeah. So like 12, is that normally like the latest you'll be out? Like you ever like what's your sleep like
Oh, God,
like in the
no.
evening?
That's like if I have something to do in the morning. No, no. I could be like on the weekend, I could be out till the sun comes up. I mean, the bars close, but like we don't. Like we just go to a park or something. It
Yeah.
actually it's get kind of like fun and chill. Sometimes we switch from alcohol and get into some other stuff. Um, you're not gonna like call the cops on me, are you?
No, no. Not only like, if you're saying you're gonna hurt yourself or somebody else like imminently.
Okay, yeah, none of that. No, I smoke a lot of crack. I smoke
Okay.
like on the weekends. Yeah, like we go to town with that stuff. We just find there's this big park like a few blocks away from my house with a forest and trees and stuff, and we just like go find a log and sit on it. Um, when it gets colder, we have to come up with some other options, but while it's warm, we can, yeah, go to that forest and just kind of smoke some crack. That's pretty fun. I don't, like I could stop whenever I wanted to.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, that just has us up all night. And
gotcha.
there's some fun stuff that happens between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Um, like I said, like everything you tell me is between you and me. I'm not going to tell your parents or anything, but I'm just trying to get a picture. Like, are they aware that you're doing other things outside of alcohol?
No, I try not to. I mean, okay, I think my parents know about the weed thing. I don't try that hard to hide it, and it's pretty easy to smell, but we never talked about it. The alcohol we talk about. My dad used to drink. I think he's sober now. He yeah, he talks to me about the alcohol thing. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I keep that. They'd freak out if they knew I smoke crack. And
Mm.
oh, sorry, I stayed up too late last night.
Yeah.
Um,
It's all right.
uh, uh, yeah, but I don't know about the weed.
Okay, just about the weed probably, and then nothing else. Okay, so we got. Is there anything else besides crack I should know about, or like you want to tell me about?
I got the alcohol, the weed, the crack. I've definitely experimented with like Vicodin and all of that. I take a
Okay.
few Adderall every once in a while. I mean, the honest truth is that I don't have to concentrate anymore, so there's no reason to take Adderall.
Yeah.
Like, I took it in college a little bit for a math test, and I could see myself taking it if I like had to like for a job interview or something.
Yeah.
But, being a barista doesn't really take any brain power. You just kind of sit there and make the coffee. Like I could do it with my eyes closed and both hands tied behind my back.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's pretty easy, pretty low brain power.
Yeah.
Um, so, outside of, hanging out with your friends and staying up, with them, is there anything else you're interested in? I know you mentioned math. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I do like the science of making coffee. Like it is kind of a bummer that I don't have that job anymore. It's kind of math too, like you have ounces and you heat stuff up to a certain temperature and
yeah.
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And it's math. That's why, like hot and cold stuff. I don't know. It's just stuff that only I care about. Um, no, but I mean, I like the outdoors too. There's a reason we go out in a forest when we smoke crack. It's always my idea. I'm like, oh yeah, trees and air,
Mm.
you know. There was a wise man that once said that when you smoke weed, you use, out of a bong. When you smoke weed out of a bong, you use all four elements. And that really resonates.
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty
You're like giving you some food for thought there, huh?
no, that's pretty accurate. Outdoor, like you ever been like hiking or camping, like,
Oh, yeah.
you do
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff? Okay.
Now, I was a Boy Scout when I was younger, believe it or not.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Do you
yeah.
like that? Like, is that something you wish you could still do these days?
Uh, I could see myself enjoying it. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not really into a sunrise hike these days because I would have to get up early to do that, and that's
Yeah.
just not conducive with my clubbing, which I like more. So
Okay. So clubbing right now. And like I'm
I could see
assuming your
myself
friend.
doing a sunset hike, but I don't have time for that because I'm at the bar by the time, like getting there by happy hour, the sun's still up. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go on a hike then. I'm gonna drink because that's what I came here to do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back to your family real quick.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, I know. Hey, like I said, I appreciate you sharing all this with me. I know it's like not fun to talk about, but it's good for me to understand, who I'm talking to and um, just like general feeling. It sounds like your dad from that one conversation about your job. there's some pressure that he puts on you. Do they ever, pressure you to go back to school or anything like
You
that?
know, I think about that a lot. I think they just think that I'm just this like screwed up child of theirs and their expectations aren't that high. Uh,
Mhm.
I No, they don't really talk to me about going back to school. They're just like, as long as you're making money. Um, I
Okay.
think my dad wants me to move out of the house. I think
Mhm.
he's like, get out of here, which
Yeah.
is fair. I mean, I'm 24. I don't really know how old the average age of a person is that moves out of their house these days, but um, I'd like to live somewhere by myself too, but I don't really have, I can't pay rent off a coffee shop job and
Yeah.
really all I want to do these days. So, it's the only thing
Yeah.
on the resume, coffee shops, and this
Mhm.
one dog walking thing I did in middle school. That
Mm.
is not relevant.
How do you feel about, they just want you to make money, maybe get you to move out, like you said, like you'd want to live on your own, but
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but I just do not see myself being able to do that. I don't want to work hard enough to make that much money. Like, that's really the math that it comes down to is like,
mm,
that's just absurd. I'd rather drink and smoke and like, I like my life how it is right now. I'm just gonna get
yeah.
another job as a barista and I'm just kind of like waiting for my parents to explode and kick me out because that's what's gonna, I'm just gonna wait and be home until then, I guess. Just like,
Okay. Do you
yeah, I mean,
feel
if they kick me out, that'll suck, but right now we're okay.
do you feel any kind of like anxiety about that, or is that just kind of like whatever?
Uh, that's a good question. I don't really feel anxiety about it. I kind of more feel apathy about it. I'm kind of mad at both my parents all the time, and this
Mm.
is like not adding on that much, like I don't know.
You're
I
mad at
don't
your
have a
parents
very
all the
good
time?
relationship with either. I don't like either of my parents. They're both not helpful to my life.
Do you feel like they have your best interest in mind, or they're not
No, I
really?
think they have their best interest in mind.
Okay.
I think they're just like trying to, they're like, I think they like regret having a child and they're just like,
Oh,
and I'm that child. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I have to live with that. Like, I have to be in their life. I can't like take myself out of this life. So
Hmm.
I may as well just like enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any siblings?
No, no
Just
sibling.
you? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And then I think we're running a little lower on time here, so I'll just ask a couple more questions just about how you're feeling generally.
Okay.
Do you have any other like, pains or besides, the drugs, are you on any other medication at the
Uh,
moment?
no, I'm not on any medication.
No
Just
pain.
that, yeah, that weed before bed keeps me
Okay.
going.
Okay. And then have your parents ever been to like a psychiatrist or have they ever been to therapy?
Yeah, my dad is like 10 years sober or something like that. So
Yeah.
he's had plenty of that stuff. My mom probably should go to therapy, but has not. We don't really talk about my dad's substance use thing. It's just kind of like an unspoken truth in the family.
Does he not want to talk about it or you guys don't want to talk about it?
I don't think anyone wants to talk. I mean, I definitely don't want to talk about it. Like
Ah,
he one time when I was really little, he got into a car accident. Uh,
yeah.
and it wasn't that bad of a car accident, but he was drunk when it happened, and so it's like I feel like if we talk about it, my dad will say like, see, this is what happens when you drink, and I'm like, Dad, I'm not you, like I'm not driving, I'm not an idiot, like
Hmm.
I just go to the forest and hang out, like nothing's gonna happen in a forest. I don't
Hmm.
know, just like no one wants to talk about it, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So it's almost like, it's kind of feels like hypocritical of him to be so critical of you or he doesn't really understand the
Yeah, Yeah, it does feel hypocritical. I'm like, what the heck? Like you're friggin' I mean, when you were older than me, you were drinking every day. Like what why can't I, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just
So
like
you that yeah, I could definitely see how that could be like kind of the root of that like anger, just like, telling you how to live your life and they had all this time to figure it out and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I got you, man. All right. Well, we're kind of running low on time today, but I just want to say, like, it's good to get to know you, Sam or Samuel. You go by Sam or Samuel?
Sam's fine.
Right. Sam. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was great to get to
Like
know you,
after one of
Sam.
those presidents.
Yeah. Yeah, like hopefully we could get another appointment scheduled for you. I'd love to get to know you some more, and maybe we can start talking a little bit about that kind of feelings, the feelings towards your parents that you kind of expressed to me.
Yeah, whatever gets me a job and my dad off my ass.
Yep, yep. Well, like I said, this place will be a good place for you to kind of get things off your chest and talk through some things.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Right.
definitely yelling.
Great. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions I had today. Do you have any questions for me before we let you go?
Um, are you gonna tell my dad about what we talked about?
No. Nope.
Okay, good. That's
Yep.
good because
Between you and
next
me.
week's gonna tear his head off.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, everything is between you and me unless it's like those exceptions I mentioned.
Got it. Okay, sounds
All
good.
right. Sweet. We'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah. And
And
see you.
scene. Ooh, very. Go to Hollywood, bro. Let's see it.
That was fun. Uh,
Yeah. Dang.
so yeah, Bruce said that we like the client gives feedback to the practitioner. I thought
Okay.
you did friggin' fantastic.
Thanks, man.
I uh like my field placement is working with people in substance use, and that's about what it would look like if they really didn't want to be in recovery.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I felt comfortable saying to you the things that I needed to say, and like I felt like you were really good at having a conversation while following the document, and you
Mhm.
made confidentiality really clear. Um, if I had to come up with something, and this
Mhm.
is like not even that big of a thing, is as somebody who likes building rapport, it would be cool if you could somehow throw more rapport building into, like it's hard to not sound like a robot
Yeah.
filling out a BPS, but then also like the people that I have seen that have filled out 1,000 BPSs are also really good at doing it, like while making friends with the client.
Yeah.
I feel like you're someone I could continue talking to, but I wouldn't feel like, oh wow, he really gets me or something like that. And like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. I
not
was,
in
I was,
recovery,
oh, go
so
ahead. Sorry.
no, no. It's just like that's something I struggle with in reverse when I'm working with my clients is like I don't know how to build rapport and ask them reasonably good questions at the same time. Like I'm
Yeah.
either pretending to be a client with them on their smoke break, or I'm angrily and robotically asking them questions.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely something. I don't know if it was like the time constraint, but it was like, yeah, I definitely felt very clinical, at least like in the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, I think like, obviously if there's more sessions, it gets easier. If it's a longer session, it's a little easier to start
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
like life and stuff.
Yeah,
But
one
it's
part of it,
really
yeah,
good.
is just how short the session was. And you're right, it would take a couple sessions. Like my character is pretty this is something that people in recovery do a lot, I've noticed, is like they're all pretty a lot of them I'll say are pretty social
Hmm.
and like charismatic and fun. And
Yeah.
it's because they're trying to like distract you from the problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Like
I can definitely
like
see
I
that.
love having conversations with the people that I'm working with. And then I leave at the end of the day and I'm like, wait, but you did a bunch of drugs and that's why you're here.
Yeah, it's like an illusion. It's like,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong here.
yeah. Sheesh. Like getting them to talk and open up about like the reasons behind the substance use is like gonna be the journey. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, I mean, there's you caught me like before I had any understanding that I have a problem, hypothetically. And so
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, okay, look, I do this and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're
Which I
like,
think, yeah,
it takes some like motivational interviewing to be like, okay, well, is it really fine?
yeah. And it's like I think you can't just like open out the gate with like that's a problem. You can't be smoking crack. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta kind of get them to feel comfortable even talking about it with you. But I don't
yeah.
know if that's how you feel at your field placement.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Yeah.
like. I mean, sometimes I
Because
mean,
otherwise you're like a narc, like you're like,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Well, like I mean, sometimes I have a good enough rapport with some of them where I'm like, yo, like stop smoking crack.
Yeah, yeah.
But that doesn't always help because then I look more like a client than a professional, and then they don't like listen as, they're like, okay,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
doesn't hurt their situation, but it doesn't help either.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
interesting. I remember when I first started at this could be like kind of the wrap, but it's like Daisy told me when we're working with the high schoolers, it's just like
oh,
the
here
cash.
I could stop recording and then
Oh yeah, sure, whatever you want to do.